Hiya. This just came in the post literally 20 minutes ago, and like a kid on Christmas morning ripped the box open and put it out on here and got my camera out because I wanted to show you all what I've just bought. This is a bit different to the usual slate or Belgian marble clocks that I usually do, so a little bit exciting for me to do something different for a change, although I've got a collection of slate clocks back there which I've got to sort out, but I don't want to keep on boring you all with the same thing. Thing I like about this one and why I bidded on this one, I got it off of eBay, it's got a Japy Freres. I don't know what the correct pronunciation of that is, but the Japy mechanism in there, and I know they seem to be quite sought after or revered, so that's what made it a little bit interesting, and the fact that it's wood, and I'm a little bit of an amateur carpenter, woodworker, whatever you like, so that gives me a chance to try and test some of my carpentry skills on this. Like the case is all right, but it needs a bit of work doing to it to make it really nice, or at least to my satisfaction. So to begin with, I'll show you the front. As I say, it's got a fairly ornate looking case on there, and lots of this, is it marquetry or parquetry? There is a difference, or the inlaid stuff, as I would probably really call it, going on, which gives it a little bit of detail, and detail is nice when you're doing these old clocks. I think that's what drives me to restore them, to restore back that detail. Now on the side of the clock, you'll see, if I tilt this down here, you can see where it's got this piece here and it's missing around the sides. You see, like both sides there, it's missing from. So part of what I'm planning to do is see if I can make up, I'm not going to get the exact cut as that is, but I may have to make new trim to go all the way around this, and I've got some oak which I'll be able to try that out with. Also it's got a leg missing, which I'm going to have to think about and how to solve that problem. And the other problem which I'm finding with this, now looking at it closely, is the fact that it's got a veneer over it which has cracked where the case may have been dropped at some point or not. So obviously they've built this up with a front and back panel and then veneered right across it to hide the joins, and where it's been hit, it's pushed it up and fractured it along there, which is a bit of a shame. There's little bits there missing. Now I don't know about veneering, I've got no idea what to do with that, and I'm wondering what that's going to look like when I do eventually finish it off and put it all back together. And see, there's an even bigger clump of it missing there. Again, it just makes it a bit more interesting, more exciting. Moving around the back, sort of standard, which way is it open? This way, French mechanism. There you can see the symbol for the Japy. I'm going to call it Japy because I'm not going to pronounce the surname of this company properly. So yeah, you've got that mark on there, which makes me feel confident I know what I've bought. And it's also got it on the actual mechanism itself. Mechanism, looking at it, looks pretty well looked after. The first thing I see is that the hammer is a little bit short of the gong, so that's going to need the hammer arm's going to need reshaping to begin with. Other than that, as I say, it's a lot cleaner than the usual stuff that I've been restoring. What is also nice is that the seller sent me on these little receipts where it's had some work done to it back in 2000, so that's like 21 years ago. it was serviced by Mr. Vercesi down there in Cornwall, who is also a member of the British Watch and Clockmakers Guild, which is nice to know. Yeah, you can see back in 2000, what did it have? Clock was overhauled, timed and tested, delivered to customer, £85. So it's nice to have a little bit of history with these things as well. I've got a couple of keys, which I don't know if are original or whether they should have a Japy emblem on there as well. One for the winder and one for setting the timing of the clock. So yeah, this is going to be today's project. What I've started doing, I don't know whether the idea is mine, I don't remember seeing it anywhere, or have I subconsciously seen this idea somewhere, is using elastic bands to hold the front and backs together while I unscrew it. It saves me, it gives me an extra hand when I'm not having to hold the front in while I'm unscrewing it. So that's just gone right across the front, and now I can just undo this quite easily using two hands. Second screw. There you go. And then spinning round to the front. See how the elastics make it an easy job. Or something's holding it back there. The strap, there you go. It's actually in really good condition. I suppose in the scheme of things, considering how old these clocks are, the fact that it was serviced sort of 21 years ago is almost a recent service. It is very, very clean. But I'll want to give it all a good clean myself anyway and oil it all up, just purely for the satisfaction of it. Yeah. Says on here, it's got the movement number 91304. What was that? Is that pendulum? That's well, isn't it? Let's see if the pendulum matches. Yep, pendulum matches as well, which is brilliant. Got these two numbers here at the bottom. They relate to, I believe, I'm going to have to check this out, but these two numbers, one relates to the length of the pendulum and the other number relates to the weight of it. So so if ever you lose a pendulum, you sort of use those numbers to order yourself a new one. Read that somewhere. So anyway, I'm going to put that aside, and really I think I want to concentrate on the first job, which is, because the mechanism itself is in pretty good condition. Yeah, because the mechanism is in pretty good condition and the case is poor, I want to go for the case to begin with. And as I say, the main thing being, what was that? Yes, two of these things are missing. I don't know if they're original to the clock or not. There's some whiting on there, I can't work out what that says. And then this little piece of decorative wood, which I'm going to have to take off and make up my own to go around there. Then probably give the case a sand down and a revarnish. I've gone and got me router bits. There you go. I've looked to see what I've got that might match that, and I knew it that I wouldn't have anything, because that is there's a lot of detail to this moulding. It's certainly not that one, but see this one. Let's go. Where are we? No, not that one. No, that's it. I'll show you this because it's actually pretty good. So I've got this one, and if you look at that profile and then I offer that up to it, that's a pretty good match to this profile, although nothing like this profile, as I say, which has got a lot of different shapes in it. So I'm thinking, how bad would it be if I zoom out a bit? Yeah, how bad would it be if all I did was match this profile down here? It wouldn't look out of place. I think so. That's what I'm going to attempt to do, and I'm still sort of a bit worried about the cracking on there. I might look at eBay and see if I can get a little sheet of oak veneer. It would be nice to have this all nice and even. I might take a look at that as an idea. Right, so I found a piece of oak and I've locked it onto this table here with some screws to stop it from moving. Ready for, ready for the router. And I've got the router bit in and I've set it to the depth I want, and I think I'm ready to cut it. Let's see how it goes. There you go, there's a nice clean cut on that. Now all I've got to do is cut it to the thickness I want, and that's one strip. I think I'll need, I haven't measured this piece of wood, but I think I'm going to need another strip of that to go around the front and the two sides. That's not going to look out of place once I rub down the rest of the clock and stain everything the same colour.
dreams, little one. Together we can make them come true. If we learn today, we can build tomorrow. Inspired by 40 years of breast milk research, Aptamil Follow-On Milk contains vitamin D to support the normal function of the immune system today for tomorrow. Trust the UK's #1 brand for follow-on milks. And now introducing new Aptamil Organic Follow-On Milk.
When it really matters. I'm not confused, but he's about to be.
This coupon isn't valid. On Wednesday. This one is only from
At mindfulchef.com. Have you ever been in a relationship?
A little mustard on it, and a fine.
I don't think this is a good place for a 10-year-old boy. Just $5. Buy yourself a...
The first thing I notice with this mechanism is the wheels are considerably smaller than the other French clocks I've worked on. Everything looks like it's made much finer and a lot prettier too. It's quite dainty inside there. As I said, overall this is a very clean mechanism, and truth be told, I probably don't even have to take this one apart, but I'm going to do that anyway, because what else have I got to do on a snowy Sunday afternoon here in Essex? So let's just begin taking it apart. So here's the finished clock. There's quite a few bits and pieces which I didn't video, particularly the cleaning up the mechanism and putting it all back together, because those of you who do follow me would have seen it in pretty much every one of my videos, putting back a mechanism on the French clock is all the same every single time, so didn't feel it was that important to video it step by step. Although I think one day what I'm gonna do is do a very detailed video of disassembling and then putting back together, just a real good close-up, almost as a tutorial or like a walkthrough for anybody who wants to have a go at fixing one of these clocks themselves. Noisy thing over there. It's got to finish soon. So let me give you a closer look at this. As you can see, the case looks a lot better now than what it did when it first started out. Re-veneered the top of this, and it's not a bad match at all, to be honest with you. I was quite surprised. I didn't think I was going to get it as good as that. And then also these bits of wood which I've had to add on here don't look out of place at all, other than slightly the colour of the oak that I used was a little bit lighter, and really what I could have done and maybe should do still is slightly darken them to match in with the rest of the clock. It doesn't get on my nerves that much, to be honest with you, so I might just leave it. But a really pretty little thing. It's as I say, it's my first wooden clock I've worked on. It has been a pleasure. As I say, a few challenges like doing the veneering work. That's something I've never done before. It's not 100%, but you'd have to know what you're looking for to see where my mistakes are. And now moving around to the back. Oh, there we go. Oops. A lovely shiny mechanism, strikes on the hour and every half an hour too. I keep this one indoors, I haven't got it in my little workshop just because I like looking at it. It's a bit different to all the black slate ones that I've got hanging around. But so yeah, overall quite a satisfying clock, and I kind of want to find a more ornate wooden clock now to have a go at. Now that I've done this one, it's kind of your thing with this clock mending, restoring, repairing. You're always looking for new challenges, and I feel like I've exhausted everything I can with the French clocks. Now I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'm just counting. I've got 10 French clocks at the moment. A couple of them are in need of restoration. But I feel like I've kind of reached my limit with the French clocks and need to be looking further afield for something new to do. Well, let me show you a little bit over the top of this where I've done the veneering. There you can see around the top it's got those sort of like little white flecks. There's a name for it, I can't remember what they're called, which kind of match the flecks on the case as well. So it doesn't look terribly out of place, and certainly a lot better than when the clock first started. Again, you'd have seen me polish up these brass columns. I seem to have got involved with all my clocks now, literally taking them apart to polish up all the little individual bits and pieces. So there we are. Hope you enjoyed the video, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, whichever one that might be.